When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
Happy Friday, but most importantly, happy early happy Father's Day to the men blessed to see a better self and live a better life with their children and be there important, and you are appreciated and you are needed if nobody tells you that for Father's Day or nobody tells you that this weekend. With that being said, this is episode 12. This is Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. I am the mama of the girls, and this whole season, for season 16 for Cozy Womb, I am focusing on fathers who want to get back into their kids' lives and everything that brings about. And you see the title, both of you have pain. All right. And in this episode, I do want to talk about how kids sense stress in their dads and how healing, hurt, and pain involves you being honest with yourself, being comfortable and being vulnerable with your kids, how sad dad is a thing, relationship problems do get in the way of you building with your kids, and first-time fathers also have fears. Also, juggling life while being a dad is a huge pressure. Baby blues is a real thing. 1 in 10 dads experience postpartum and don't even know it. 1 in 10 dads experience, going through anxiety and don't even know it. Postnatal depression is a thing that dads experience. And if you want to check out healthychildren.org to see what they have written up about it and read on it, you can. Another great website to check out is directadvicefordads.org or .com, I believe. Great advice, great pointers, great tips. So, with that being said, I believe dads want to feel loved and respected. Dads want to know that they matter and that they made a difference. And so when it comes to both of you having pain, meaning the dad and the children, daddy issues show up in boys and girls. No child can escape that. Dads get super defensive when they feel guilty for not being good dads, all stemming from some form of pain. And I want to talk about it. In my opinion, if I had to break down what pain was, it's personal agony intentionally neglected. Because when you're healing and you are healed, you should no longer be in that same pain you try to heal from. When we love people and things that we nurture, it shows. That's how we show love. We nurture it. We give it time and we help it grow. And we pour into it and we correct what's not working. In order to fix pain as a dad, you need time, you need honesty, and you need rest. Meaning you can try and try and try. You need a break. Then you try again. You need a break. Then you do. Then you talk. Then you take a break. You can't be constantly at your child that you haven't seen in years or a very long time and think they're supposed to be super receptive and open arms. All children are not like that. There is no pill to heal 5 years of you not being there, 10 years of you not being there, their whole lives of not being there, and now you show up because they're 21. There's no pill for that. There's no money you can buy things for that. Okay? There's no gift you can give other than you going back in time and being around. The more dads spend more time with their kids start to understand. When dads spend more time with their kids, dads start to understand what we do as mothers. what we do as grandparents, what we do as aunties, what we do as uncles. They grow appreciation for the people who've been around when they weren't. Moms start loving their children while they are developing within them. Dads start the love for their kids after. Or when your stomach's getting big, maybe. If a dad starts loving and showing their child that they love them at age 10, you miss too much. If you start at 15, you miss too much. If you start at 21 years old with your kid, that's a lot of hurt time there. That's a lot of hurt and scabs and brick walls built between them and you. But I also have appreciation and a soft spot for dads too, because I know society is not built for the importance of dads being around their kids. It's just not. A lot of dads feel at a loss because our system that's supposed to be for families in the United States is not created to help men with children unless the government or that mother or that other family is taking money from that dad. Most dads feel solo out here. They feel like the only way that they can get help is if they have money for a lawyer, if they have enough money to take off work to go do this paperwork, if they have enough time to go do this, but they have other priorities. And if they fall short in this area, then somebody's going to point out that you're not man enough, or you're not able, or your home is not suited enough to have a kid, or you're not smart enough, and they feel defeated. A lot of dads who want to try it feel defeated. And I understand that. But it's no excuse to sit and talk about your problems, and not bring about solutions. You have to have some type of solution in the midst of what your issue is. You have to break apart that whole list of problems and why you can't and why this is not working. And on the other side of that same paper, what are the solutions for that? Let's work at one problem a day. Because your child is hurting and you are hurting. And to think that you're about to show up and fix this hurt overnight, it's not going to happen. There are grown children who are parents of other children feeling hurt. There are grown women who are mothers of multiple children not loving their children fully because they didn't experience a father that was around enough. So they block their children's fathers from being around enough. And they don't want to do it, but because they didn't have, they don't want to let their children have. It sounds crazy, but again, therapy. There's a lot of dads who didn't have the best fathers, who are now fathers that don't show up for their kids because they truly believe they turned out fine. So their children don't need them. There are a lot of fathers who grew up with a great dad, but are mentally and emotionally lazy as men who became fathers and don't feel like they'll be able to walk into their father's shoes and be as great as their father, so they don't try. There's therapy for that. There's so many issues that come with being a parent. There's so many issues that come with being a black father. There's so many issues that come with, not being there and the reasons why you weren't there and why you showing up now and what work is going to take to mend it, make it better. It's building a relationship. Even though I had 2 kids biologically, I'm building relationships with them while I raise them. They're human beings. I had to get my book together because I am I'm using my podcast journal. So, hold on. Supporting Cozy Womb Podcast is easy, just as quick as dropping a review on Apple Podcasts app or on Google or on Spotify, or going on to Good Pods, giving it a listen and giving it a share, or going through the Cozy Womb shop and purchasing any merch. And if you would like to just donate straight to the show, in every show description, there's a link where you can donate to Cozy Womb Podcast. I am a creator, I am a mom, and I am the sole person who brings income into my household every year, every month, every day. So any type of support for any information I'm giving or any insight I'm giving or anyone I'm helping, I appreciate it. Even if you share this with a dad that can really, really, really benefit off of the information that I'm giving you, that's what counts. And I appreciate you. And back to the show.
Here we go.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
My dad tip is to focus on what you can control, focus on the solution, and don't dwell on the problem, and don't repeat it back to yourself in your head, and don't make up situations that are not real in your head and have that dictate your future. Now back to the show. The question is not, do you want to have a baby and raise a baby? The question is, do you want to raise a whole human being? Because that baby process is short. That, 5-year-old to 11-year-olds is short. That preteen section is short. That teenager section is, I'm not ready, but it's coming. It's short. But that child, that human being, being an adult and remembering what their mom taught them and remembering what their dad did and remembering what their parents didn't do and reciprocating that into life, into their world in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s and their 50s. A lot of our most annoying coworkers as adults at work are people who did not work through their dads not being around or their moms not being around or one of their parents not pouring in properly. And so now people at work got to deal with it. People at work got to deal with their attitude or their lack of empathy or their lack of being able to communicate or their insecurities in the workplace. And then you just spread that miserableness to different people. And that is the world that we live in. All these loopholes of people who are not loved correctly by fathers that were supposed to be there or mothers that were supposed to be there. And because I'm talking about fathers, that's why I'm talking more so on fathers, but it's not all on fathers. Women have to be really honest about the fact that, I didn't pick this person to create a child with because I thought they were going to be a great father. I picked them because I liked looking at them at that time. And a lot of women know the men that they should have picked to have children with that would have been great fathers in their children's lives. We know it. Let me tell you, I know it. I know at least 3 people I was in relationships with that maybe I didn't personally like over a period of time. But I know for sure as a father, they would have been great in my children's lives. I know it. But people are a gamble. Relationships are a gamble. So what you can do now with the children that are here now, with the children that you help create now, which you as a father wanting to be in your child's life now, is heal, be honest, and understand that both of y'all have pain. Your child might play sports. Your child might be on honor roll all the time. Your child might be a TikTok sensation. Your child might be a great model. Your child might be loved by the world. But if your child is not loved by their father and they feel that, there's going to be a hole, an emptiness within them. I'm telling you. And if it doesn't get addressed, And if it doesn't get dealt with, and if they don't seek therapy for it because they don't know how to deal with it, it's going to blow up into something worse. Whether it's alcoholism, whether it's taking drugs, whether it's gravitating towards people who can't love them fully because their dad didn't love them fully, whether it's keeping friendships around that's not good for them just because they want people around, whether it's them not being able to be alone by themselves and have peace. It has to do with them feeling lopsided as children. Okay? So be there if you're going to be there and work through that pain with your kid. Like I said, when it comes to Father's Day, it's a day to celebrate fathers, right? If my father wasn't who he was and didn't do what he did, I want to be here. But could my father have been better? Yes. But it's not the outcome. You can't change what was, but you can change what is, and you can change what's going to be. And as a father, if you want to get to a point where you can celebrate and truly enjoy a Father's Day with your child without guilt, you got to heal first. And you got to work through this pain first. And it's going to be some ugly cries. It's going to be some snot on your shirt. It's going to be some frustration. It's going to be some, oh my God, why is this so hard? Because it's been years of it being hard for your child. It's been years of you being like, you got time. And then you meeting your child and you seeing all the time you wasted. So if you can't fix yesterday, focus on today and focus on tomorrow. My name is Shan. This is Cozy One Podcast. Thank you for listening. Again, happy Father's Day. I don't think great fathers get celebrated enough. I don't think grandparents who are still around get celebrated enough. Love on them. Make sure that man has a great weekend. Make sure you don't use that man's money to buy him a gift. Really, really, really dig deep. Do something sweet and sentimental, and do something from the heart, not last minute. Peace. Bye.
Bye.